All right, man. So this is what you need out here. I'm just chilling for the moment. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing? I'm running the test really. Um, Ishe Smith versus J Rock. That was a good ass fight. They gave J Rock the decision, of course, but it was a good fight. I thought Ishe handled himself. Um, Not much fights out here, but I just wanted to talk a little bit. You had also Floyd Mayweather. He was doing a little training and stuff. Yeah, I am what you need. That's right. Yeah, but he was doing a little training and stuff. So I just wanted to just tell you guys we're gonna do some live chats and we're gonna do some hangouts soon enough. So don't you worry about that. We'll be coming to you live soon enough. Coming to you live, baby. Live, baby. But in the meantime, I just wanted to test out this hangout, and either this weekend or this coming weekend it's here, we will actually test it out. You guys can check out the hangout and we can talk a little bit. All right. If you want to join the hangout, I can go give you the hangout link. You join up and we can talk some stuff, man. We can talk some stuff. So this was just a test. I see here 2 people are watching right now. That's cool. Now it's gone up to 3. If you got any questions, pop into the chat right now. We got a couple of minutes. Pop into the chat, drop your question. I'm about to get out of here and go to work. So I'm just on here for a couple of seconds, you know. Also, for you guys to know, I have another channel where we cover movies. Well, I'm a big DCEU fan, and currently, if you haven't checked it out, check out Justice League. It's good entertainment. If you haven't checked out Justice League, get into the theaters and check it out. I've been trying to advocate because I like Batman v Superman. I like Man of Steel. I like Wonder Woman. I'm a DCU fan at heart because I like how the themes are. They got crest-centric themes and stuff like that, and they're deeper than just your typical superhero movie. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Justice League, go check that out. Let's talk a little bit about boxing for a minute. So what do you guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat section right on my, let me see which way I'll be. This way? Yeah, this way. So if you look across here, radio. Good. If you look across there, join my chat. Say something. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. What do you want to talk about? And we will talk about it. If I don't know anything about the topic, because I haven't been following boxing so much, I've been in the cinema mostly, watching Justice League. But if you got something else you want to talk about, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it, baby. I think I got about 5-second delay, maybe a 6-second delay, maybe a 7-second delay. Oh, it's gonna rain for real. Yeah. So yeah, I'm right here right now. I see 4 people watching. Yo, drop it down, drop it down, drop it down. I'm waiting on you guys. I'm waiting. Can't wait forever though. Yes, we're live. I'm what you need. You want to talk something in boxing? Put it in the chat area. Let's get going. Let's get going. Let's get going. I don't got a whole lot of time, folks. I don't have a whole lot of time. So somebody like my video. Type something in the chat area, man. Type something in the chat area. I'm ready to talk with you guys. Anything boxing. Anything boxing. You can even suggest what videos you would like me to do on this channel. Anything boxing. But I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna give you 3-4 more minutes. And if nobody says anything in the chat area, guess what? We rolling out of here. We're gonna shut this down and roll out of here, okay? Come on, talk to me. What you guys want to talk about? 68 Dark Rendeverous. Haha, my brother. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hey versus Bello is off. Your thoughts? He damaged his bicep muscle. Isn't that right? David here damaged his bicep muscle in training. It's off. I heard that Tyson Fury, he wants to take on Tony Bello. That sounds good. That sounds good. Make it happen, baby. Make it happen. That's my thoughts on that. One time. Hit me with something else, 68. Come on. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. Come on. Just the questions. Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What you guys? What's on your mind? What's in your mind? What's in your mind? Let's get it going. Rigo versus Loma. Who you got and why? I got Rigo all day, every day, 24/7. if Rigo faced Loma every day of the week, Rigo beats Loma every day of the week. A sharpshooter always beat a machine gunist. All right? Why? Gave you the answer. Straightforward. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, guys. Come on. You could go. You could go faster than that. Come on now. Come on now. What y'all got for me? What you got for me? What you got for me? What you got for me? Come on. Woo. Yeah. Thoughts on Adonis Stevenson's inactivity? Well, you know what? I think he was supposed to face that boy, Eliter Alvarez. Isn't that right? He was supposed to face Eliter Alvarez, and that fight is off. And I hope Badger Jack faces him. I know Badger Jack and Dave were trying to go in the direction of facing Adonis Stevenson. I think that Adonis Stevenson, his inactivity will affect him as he gets into every fight. You know, he'd be a little rusty going in. But I think he handles his story. He's a southpaw, sharp. He is oldish, but I'm sure he's keeping busy sparring and keeping himself in shape. But really, he's trying to get a big fight. He's trying to make some money. So, you know what it is. Oscar De La Hoya, hypocrisy or genuine? Oscar De La Hoya is a fool. You know that. All of us know he's a fool. He's a clown. You know how it is. But straightforward talk, I think Canelo needs to face GGG next. That's the fight they should be looking to make. And that's that. Oscar's a clown, though. He puts his foot in his mouth. All right? Next one, next one, next one, next one. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's your opinion of Oscar De La Hoya, 68 Rendeavors? I know you always deep. What's your opinion? Let's go, let's go. Who you got, Brandon Lewis? Canelo or GGG? Canelo. Canelo in the rematch. Canelo. You know I got Canelo. I got Canelo. I got Canelo, baby. What? Somebody else said Oscar De La Hoya, hypocrisy or genuine. I hit that up already. 68. What's your opinion of Oscar De La Hoya? Brandon Lewis, what's your opinion? Who you think are going to win in the rematch between Canelo and GGG? And who you got for Rigo or Loma? Let me see. They had some other good fights this year. I just can't remember where they are right now. Talking about good fights, man. What did you guys think of Ishe Smith versus J Rock, man? Wasn't that a good-ass fight? That was a good-ass fight, man. Y'all think that the fight was as wide as the judges scored it? What do you think about that? What's your opinions on that? Ishe Smith versus J Rock. What you got? What do you got to say about it? Yeah, man. Boxing's good, man. It's cool. You know, we don't talk about all the lighter weight divisions, but there's some stuff happening in the lower weight class. I know some of you all are not interested in lower weight class in boxing, period. But that's all well and good, you know. I would like to say also that when we look at what's happening in the state of boxing and stuff, 68 sports Rendeavors. I got Rigo. I believe it will be close. It wouldn't be surprising if the judges give it to Loma. I don't think it's going to be close. This fight, let me tell you why, Brandon, I don't think it's going to be close. Rigo is not one of those guys you can just get him at any angle. Rigo does pivots quite well. And you see him, how he can pivot under a guy and stuff. So he going to sharp shoot. Loma always going to try to find an angle to come in, and he going to meet Rigo right there, sharp shooting him. He going to get bam! And he going to try and reset and go back outside. It could be something like Mayweather Pacquiao, but a little bit more. Rigo's going to be very aggressive. You know, he's going to light him up. He's going to light him up. So it's not going to be close. But if Loma's standing, you never know. They might give it to Loma. You know how it is. They might do Rigo. Oscar Elias says he's been training. Utter bullshit. Yeah, 68. You know how it is. Oscar just, I don't know what's wrong with Oscar, man. He lost his mind, man. He lost his mind a long time ago. He just saying whatever he can to make news. So Oscar will stir up news. He knows it's controversial and stuff. He just like having fun. He gonna stir up something just to make news, you know. But he don't mean nothing he said. Had a hell of a career, but after that, the dude be just like disgracing himself and saying all kinds of stupid things. MBT Boxing, what's good? What you need, man? Hit me with your questions, man. And if you want me to hit you with a question to MBT Boxing, do it. The guy said Canelo GGG in the rematch. Who you got? You got Canelo. You got GGG. We just talking all things boxing, just a general thing, just a test. MBT Boxing. You also got Rigo versus Loma. Who you got? You know what I'm saying? 68 Dark Rendeavor says he got Rigo by KO. Damn. Let me see. Let me think about it. KO or by stoppage? You mean stoppage? Maybe Rigo break a jaw or something? That's what you mean? A KO? Laying out Loma? Rigo ain't that. He not that powerful a puncher. He's sharp. He's very, very sharp. You know, he's a very, very sharp boxer. But I don't know about power. You know, he could break your jaw. He proved that already. And he can make you hesitant to come in on him because he covers those angles pretty good. He could get dropped, though. He can get dropped. So Loma could drop him. You know, that's possible as well. So, you know, you never know. MBT Boxing, what's good, what you need? Yes, my brother. What's good with you, my brother? I think Canelo gets him in the rematch. Yeah. I think a lot of people think Canelo will get him. It would be nice if GGG could come back and do something, you know, interesting to make this fight interesting. That would be cool. But I mean, what could he do? I mean, he did something in the 12th round, but then Canelo just came back and, you know what I'm saying? Aloma, 10th round stoppage for me. One of us is going to eat Major Crow. Ain't going to be me, brother. I watch boxing, man. Boxing's about angles. Did you guys see Keith Thurman on the Boxing Voice? He was talking about angles. I think if you understand angles and distance and range, you will understand why Rigo gets this fight. And Loma's, he's good. He's good. Loma's good. I like what he does. You know, he does different things. He throws different feints and stuff. But he got to get the angle on you. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. So that's why I said Rigo. I don't see Rigo stopping Loma. He's too small to stop Loma, and he's not really. Rigo's not really a power puncher. He's sharp. He's real sharp with his punches. He's stingy, hard. You know, when you look at Nonito Donaire, Rigo damaged Nonito, and I think Loma's going to take punishment there on a crew. And why some people say Rigo might stop Loma is because he's small. He's a little guy. If Loma keep coming, he gonna keep on taking punishment. But there's two things about Rigo I noticed. He headhunts a lot, and even though he does go to the body sometimes. And the other thing is he's a sharp puncher, but for a really strong fighter who's well conditioned like Loma, I don't see him stopping him. He can't. You know, Loma's smart enough. If he gets tagged up too much, he's not going to just come in. So I see it as it could get to be a boring fight where Loma ain't doing nothing. He kind of just staying outside the range, you know, hesitant to come in because Rigo light his ass up. So all of that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Because Rigo's a kind of dude, man. He's set. He's set like he's set like a cobra. You know, and if he throws and you counter punch him and you get him the first time, you're not gonna get him the second time because he's gonna change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I don't know. They counted on Rigo to age and stuff. GGG is scared to go to Canelo's body because he's scared of the counter uppercut from Canelo. And the combinations to the body as well. You know, Canelo has that left hook, you know, that left hook to the body. And sometimes he comes with that jab to the pit, straight down the center. Or he may come with that right hook to the body. Or he may throw a feint. See, the thing with boxing is the feints. The feints is really what gets you. You know, even GGG throws feints, like what he did with Kell Brook. He did as if he was going to hook him to the head and he went to the body. So if Canelo is very good and fluent at feinting you. Even those extravagant feints where he goes way outside with his left hand before he comes up with the hook, or he just throws a jab, or he throws the lead right. You know, even when he does that, he feints you. So he open you up. You expecting to block down to the body, then you get blasted up to the head because he come off with a lead right. You know what I'm saying? It's the feinting. You know, boxing got so much to it. You know what I'm saying? It's angles. You know, you can't get off a shot if you ain't got the angle on a guy. So that's where Canelo knows all that stuff. That's why he was able to handle GGG. And he was smaller. He was smaller. And physically, he wasn't as strong as GG, but he got them angles on him. You can't do nothing if you can't get the position. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said Canelo, he'll beat GGG. Rigo's the same thing. The foot position. The foot position. You know, it's two southpaws going off against each other. Who's the more experienced southpaw? Now, Loma got more fights. You know what I'm saying? But Rigo got them different styles. He's mastered the different styles. You know what I'm saying? Loma didn't master the different styles. How we know that? When he faced, what's that guy's name? Salido. When he faced Orlando Salido, he didn't know what to do to get the W. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't pull off the W. Rigo, on the other hand, a guy bullying him, trying to cramp him for space. Rigo knows how to pivot and move to get that guy off of him so he can land his shots. You know what I'm saying? It may look ugly, but he'll get the W. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what Brandon Lewis. Canelo made GGG extremely slow. No, he didn't make him slow. GGG slow compared to Canelo. If the boy had better stamina, he would be a dangerous man. Yeah, he'd have blown him out for sure. I wouldn't say he has better stamina. Well, yeah, if he had better stamina, that's true. If he was much more well conditioned with his feet, especially that footwork, yeah. Yeah, he's good up top. He's good up top. He knows how to pace himself up top. The feet ain't used to moving that much. Yeah, he'll make your face look like it's got. Yeah, yeah. Rigo, he's sharp. He's a sharp puncher. There's a difference between power puncher and a sharp puncher. If you just power, you know your hands are heavy. Your bone density is, you know, you got a lot of bone density. But if you're a sharp puncher, that snap, you know, and you got that sense of distance, you got that sense of timing. You can catch a guy when he's not, you know, he's not braced for it. And that's the thing with sharp punching. Some guys get knocked out because they're just not ready for the shot. It's not that they can't take the shot. They just wasn't ready for it and they didn't expect it. So sharp punching is different to power punching. Brandon Lewis made him look typo. Made him look, yeah. Okay, it was a typo. Yeah. Brandon Lewis. What matchup would you really like to see in 2018? Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr. I would love to see that matchup. I would love to see Keith Thurman versus the young guy that just came up. He's just coming up into welterweight, the undisputed champion of Terrence Crawford. I'd love to see Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford. That would be a good matchup. I'd love to see what happens there. I would love to see my boy Adrian Granados. I would love to see him win a junior welterweight title. I think he deserves to get one because he's that caliber of fighter. He's excellent. He's a fantastic fighter, and he brings a lot to the table. Kind of like Sean Porter, but he got a little bit more boxing in him, and he got a lot of other things he can do in terms of looks and stuff. Let me talk about another fighter I really like to see fighting. People talk about Wilder versus AJ. I want AJ to get a little bit more experience. You know, Floyd, you know, AJ going and picking Floyd's brain and stuff, and Wilder's out there. And I think as it stands, I think I really can't say really, because I think that mentally AJ was saying some things that I didn't like. I didn't like what he was saying. He was saying that, you know, when you're in this position, you know, you could lose, or one day I'll lose. And that's really not the mindset you need to have at that top level. But he's a very humble guy. When I saw where he lives, where he camps out and everything, I love that he just focused on boxing, and he knows the real thing. It's not about the hype and all of that stuff. He's grounded. So that's what I like about AJ. Deontay Wilder is a grounded guy, but he's got not only self-belief, but he's developing skill-wise. His skill sets. He's doing a lot of different things. He can fight on the inside, can fight on the outside. And Wilder's very, very sharp. He's very, very fast with his jabs. Everything sharp, you know, crisp. And he's getting better. He still gets hit, but he's tough. And he's that elite boxer. So I don't know who would win between Wilder and AJ, but mentally I think Wilder's ahead of AJ at this point in time. And I know AJ's a humble guy, but still, nonetheless, you shouldn't be talking about losing and you ain't lost yet. You know, I get where you're coming from, but you don't know. You haven't lost yet. So until you lose, you know, don't be thinking like that. Like, you shouldn't have lost in your mind. You know what I'm saying? You should be a winner and just stay a winner, you know? And that's the thing. I understand where AJ is coming from in a humble perspective, but you shouldn't think about losing in your mind at this point in time. I mean, look at this. Floyd lost in the Olympics, right? He took his loss gracefully. He said, it's cool. You know, if Floyd gets beat, even now, if Floyd gets beat, he goes back and he gets beat out there. I don't expect Floyd Mayweather to be like all suffering and heartbroken. No, he take his loss because he believes a true champion take a loss and bounce back. But that's not in his mind. Losing is not in his mind. You can't have losing in your mind. That's not, you know, because then you are conceding to a possibility of that happening. And when things get really tough, your desire will cave in to that mentality. You understand what I'm saying? So you mentally have to think of yourself as a winner, especially if you're winning. You know, just stay there. Don't focus on losing at all. You know, so, you know, because that's the way, if you have the attitude, the mentality of a loser. I'm not saying you don't lose. Like Floyd said, he lost in life and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Unified champion. He should be ready. Well, Terrence Crawford. Yeah, man. Terrence Crawford should be ready to, you know, blaze the trail, do his thing. He's got them skill sets, man. That boy got some skills. But he hasn't faced competition like a Keith Thurman. He has not faced an Errol Spence yet. He has not faced Danny Garcia yet. He has not faced a Sean Porter yet. So he will be challenged. I can guarantee you that. He has not faced that level of competition. His most elite competition he has faced is that little guy. What's his name? Yuriorkis Gamboa. That was his, I guess that was his stiffest competition, most elite competition, because that guy had a history. Everybody else was they just became champions, you know what I'm saying? Or they're okay fighters. They're not on the level of Terrence Crawford. They're not on the level of any one of these other guys at welterweight, and they're bigger guys. So he gonna have his hands full, but he got a skill set. He got an interesting skill set, and he has sparred champions like Bradley. So, it should be good. He should be able to hold his own up in there. He's got a reputation. I would love to see him mix it up with those boys. I'm just saying, it's different. There are levels to this game, and as much as he's undisputed champion. You know what I mean? I don't know who you were talking about. Are you talking about Keith Thurman? Hey, Keith Thurman? You talking about Keith Thurman, MBT boxing? Keith Thurman, yeah. Well, if Keith Thurman's the unified champion and he's facing Errol Spence, by all means, let him face up. Because Keith Thurman has to warm up and stuff, get his hands in his hand in order. I think it's his right hand, his power hand in order by his elbow joint. It's like he damaged something, pulled something, whatever. He got to get himself sorted. And then, give us the fight, baby. Give us the fight. 147 has names to make all-time greats. Whoever comes on top. Yeah, they got potential. Everybody got potential in this game that we talk about. I always say that Shawn Porter, Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, and Timothy Bradley, they would have run the division. It so happens Timothy Bradley retired. Kell Brook got beat by Errol Spence, so I got that wrong. Them two names wrong. But we still got Keith Thurman there, and we still got Shawn Porter. And I'm telling you, Shawn Porter is a task for almost anybody in that division. Even though he's been losing some of the big fights, he is not an easy test, right? And you got Shawn Porter out there. You got Keith Thurman. You got now Errol Spence Jr., and he's a big welterweight. Good. He'd like to break down the body and then just break you down and stop you. And then you got Kell Brook still there. I don't know if he's going to move up to super welter. And you got now, I keep on forgetting his name for reasons unknown to me, but what's his name? That is so terrible. Terrence Crawford, TC. That's right. Terrence Crawford, Not sure how Terrence Crawford would fare at 147. Errol Spence would be bad for him, in my opinion. As the first fight, hell yeah. Errol Spence will be, but he has skill, though. Terrence Crawford has some skill. So, yeah, Errol Spence might try to bully him, but Terrence Crawford's pretty big. And, I think Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford would be like Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman. Terrence Crawford will hold his own. Errol Spence will not just be able to run him over. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I think Terrence Crawford has much more movement than Danny Garcia. He's got certain things in his tank. He's still got to refine some stuff, but yeah, I mean, his first fight being Errol Spence, that's a tall order though, because Errol's a big welterweight. When he comes in, he's like almost a middleweight. He comes in almost a middleweight when he's coming to fight. So it's like Terrence Crawford be fighting like 2 weight classes up. Terrence Crawford's like what, a super welter? When he comes in to fight, when he was fighting a junior welter, he came in a super welter. He came in at 157, 158. You know what I'm saying? A small middleweight, big super welter. Keith Thurman comes in 158, 157. So he's around about Terrence Crawford's size. You know what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman tells you how he actually knocks out guys. It's pretty clever how he does it. If you were watching the boxing scene video, man, this thing was only supposed to be 10 minutes, and I got all these people. Let's see what you say here. Thurman, Crawford, Spence are elite and not bad. Other fighters like Garcia, Porter, and Horn. Oh, are they okay? Danny Garcia is elite. His record says everything. You don't rank Danny Garcia with Shawn Porter. You don't rank him with Jeff Horn. You just don't. Danny Garcia is in a whole different category. He proved he was elite. He was elite super welter, elite super junior welterweight, and then he stepped up to welterweight, and he's had one loss, and that was against Keith Thurman, who's the best welterweight out there right now because of his record, right? Not in terms of necessarily his skills, but in terms of his record, right? Porter is elite. Let me tell you why Porter is elite. Porter is a style that gives all the top tier fighters trouble. top tier fighters that have faced him. And he beat everybody except for Keith Thurman and Kell Brook, who are both 2 elite fighters. So you cannot say that Porter's not elite. He is. You know, he's at the top. If you look at the top 10 welterweights out there, he is there. You know, if you look at the top 5, which is more elite, really, not top 10, but the top 5 welterweights, he's in that list. You know what I'm saying? So you got to call him elite. A guy who's not elite right at this present time, but he's getting that elite status, is Amir Khan. As a welterweight, he ain't elite. But they, you know, he got a good history. He's shown to be a lightweight champion. He was a junior welterweight champion. You know what I'm saying? And the guys who beat him were all elite. You know, you got guys like Keith Thurman, and not Keith Thurman. Who's facing somebody's facing Lamont Peterson. Who's facing Lamont Peterson? Is it Keith Thurman? Who's facing Lamont Peterson? Whoever's facing Lamont Peterson, somebody's facing Lamont Peterson. I forgot who it is. Not Porter. Somebody's facing. Oh, Errol Spence is facing Lamont Peterson. That's a good ass fight, by the way. That's a sleeper. Y'all sleeping on that fight. Lamont Peterson, if he makes it to the 5th round, that fight's gonna be even. I'm telling you now. That's a good ass fight. If Lamont Peterson is not stopped early, Lamont Peterson's gonna give Errol Spence a run for his money. Guarantee you that. That's a good ass fight. Let me see what it is. I was talking about Anthony Joshua, but it's all good. I like Bud. Okay. You were saying that when it comes to him versus Wilder, I got you, MBT. Crawford will fight Jeff Horn first. Yeah, in-house, top rank. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Jeff Horn's sloppy, but he's a tricky dude. So I would like to see how Crawford handles Jeff Horn. He's underrated. He got some interesting skill set. This will be like a rip-off Manny Pacquiao, a bigger rip-off Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford. So that's actually an okay fight. I mean, I don't consider Jeff Horn elite at this present time, but you know, he's an okay fighter. I'd like to see how his career pans out, man. I would like to see how everything kind of pans out. And Crawford stepping up in weight to face Jeff Horn is a big, solid welterweight. That would be good. That's a good fight. That's going to be interesting. Brandon Lewis. Gamboa wobbled Terrence Crawford a bit. Would like to see how his chin is at 147. Nah, he got a good chin. Bud got a good, very solid chin. He's got a very solid chin. Yeah, I remember that when Gamboa faced him at lightweight. Yeah. Gamboa is a special kind of boxer. I mean, he hasn't done so well. I think he was stopped by somebody recently, but he was a good boxer. So, you know. But that's the best that Terrence really has faced, I think, Gamboa. So, but Terrence got a good chin. Brandon Lewis. Horn would be a good first fight. Yeah. Introduce him to the ideal fight. That would be, you know, Bob Arum. You know, that would be a good fight for Bob Arum and for Top Rank, and it's in-house. It's not hard to make. Yeah, that would be a good fight. Definitely. MBT Boxing says, I don't consider anyone elite personally until you beat a prime elite fighter. To me, Porter and Garcia are B-, maybe A+, right there, but just come up short. Interesting. Elite, you have to beat an elite fighter to be elite? I don't think so. To me, okay, let me explain what I mean by elite, all right? So people get it. One, an elite fighter, they train in an elite regime. Two, they got a resume and a record. If you've been a multiple world champion and you beaten some good fighters, you got to be considered elite. It's like, okay, if you're saying that to be an elite fighter, you got to beat an elite person, then Gennady Golovkin, who is he beating that's elite? Except for Danny Jacobs. So you're saying for his entire career, GGG wasn't an elite fighter. No, he was facing guys below his level, but he was elite. He showed it in his, not only in his skills, but also in his training regimen, how sharp he was, the kinds of punch selections, how clean he was and what he was doing. You can be an elite fighter, but still not have faced elite competition, I believe. So that's just my opinion, but, you know, but Danny Garcia proved to us that he was an elite fighter because he beat some elite competition in his division. He beat Amir Khan, you know, was elite in his division. He beat Eric Morales, who was elite in his division, had an elite career. Yeah, Eric Morales was old, but nonetheless, he gave Marcos Maidana a run for his money, you know what I'm saying? And he knocked out Eric Morales the second time, you know what I'm saying? He finished him. So, no, I truly believe you being an elite fighter has to do with your preparation, how you face competition that's below you and how you dispose of them, how you win championships. Because once you become a world champion and you are able to defend that so many times, it shows your quality. It shows your position. Of course, if you're facing weak competition, that's another story. But here's another thing. If you're saying that those guys are not elite, then Terence Crawford is not elite. But he is undisputed junior welterweight champion. And he's considered pound for pound at the top of the pound for pound division. You can't be pound for pound at the top of the pound for pound division. You mean elite. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things show you don't always stay elite. Why I said Amir Khan is not elite right now is not because Amir Khan wasn't elite at a certain point in time. At super lightweight, he was elite. I think at lightweight, he was elite because I think he beat Marco Antonio Barrera, was an elite fighter at the time. So, no, he was elite, but I think at this present time, Amir Khan is not elite. It doesn't mean that he can't become elite again. It's just that he's stayed away from the ring so much. His performances have not been that great, especially against elite competition. Yes, he has taken leaps and bounds. He's challenged himself by going up to middleweight, facing or junior, if you want to call it inflated junior welterweight. And he went and faced Canelo. He got knocked out, you know. But you know, I'm being hard on Amir Khan because he's probably elite, but still, nonetheless, he's not what I call elite right now because he's just not been in circulation. He's been avoided, not necessarily he's avoided, but he's not been fighting the top level competition out there for me to say, okay, he's elite. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. I mean, if you look at Terence Crawford, he fought the top competition in his division. When you look at Danny Garcia, he faced the top competition in his division, which was Keith Thurman. He faced the very best, right? He faced Robert Guerrero, who was once a top level competition. He beat him. I mean, Guerrero was handing it to him in the late rounds, but the point is, he beat him. He beat Lamont Peterson, was the top competition at junior welterweight. He fought him at welterweight, a catch weight at welterweight. He beat him. So you can't say that he's not elite. You can't say Lamont Peterson is not elite. You can't say, you know, that you can't say these guys are not elite, right? Sean Porter became world champion. He beat I forgot what the kid's name is now. Shoot. But he beat him to become champion, right? He faced up to Kell Brook. And though he lost, he was always in the fight. You see what I'm saying? So if you're elite, you're gonna be in the fight. If you just get dwarfed, or that means you don't belong in the ring with the guy, then it shows you're not elite. So he gave a competitive fight against Keith Thurman. That was a very competitive fight, showing his elite status again. And he beat Adrian Broner, who is not elite. Unfortunately, I have to say that. Adrian Broner at this point in time, he's C level, you know, C+ level. You know what I'm saying? Because he's being beaten by elite fighters. Like Mikey Garcia came up in weight and beat his ass. Not supposed to happen. If you're elite like that, you're supposed to not be beaten by guys who are smaller than you coming up in weight to face that don't have no experience in the division facing you. He got beat by him, right? Can he become elite again? Absolutely. Doesn't mean that Adrian Broner's training regimen is not elite. It may be that his mind is not applied to boxing in an elite way anymore. It may be just that. He may be in there for the money grabs and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying, you know? That's just my opinion. Brandon Lewis, Spence versus Lamont. Yeah, that's the fight. MBT Boxing, Spence is fighting Peterson. That's right. I just found out that. MBT Boxing, Jess Horn is all we have down here in Australia, so I'm rolling with him. But yeah, he's not elite yet. Pacquiao was passed, but it's still a good win. Now, mind you, Pacquiao is still dangerous. All right, folks. So I'm not going to say, you see, people like to make the old fighter excuse. Unless that fighter was maimed going into the ring, like with Sergio Martinez, who faced Miguel Cotto coming in the ring with an injury and stuff like that. You got 2 hands, you got 2 feet, you signed the contract. No, Pacquiao was a good win for Jeff Horn, and it wasn't because Pacquiao was old. Even a younger Pacquiao would have lost to Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn has a similar style to Manny Pacquiao. There's a video on YouTube you can go check out why Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao, was competitive with him. Jeff Horn was doing a lot of things Manny Pacquiao does. Plus, Jeff Horn was adding in the bobbing and the weaving and a lot of stuff. He wasn't very accurate. He was kind of sloppy with his stuff, but he was able to nullify Manny Pacquiao, smother him, and do it. And Pacquiao did his best round in the whole fight was round 9. Why didn't he? Wasn't he able to follow up on round 9? Why wasn't he able to do something to Jeff Horn in round 10, 11, and 12? Why? Huh? Because Jeff Horn would not allow him. So you got to give Jeff Horn credit where credit is due. Jeff Horn is the dude. I think that's my personal opinion. When it comes to beating Manny Pacquiao, he beat him. It's just what it is. Pacquiao can come back, rematch him, try and take back his crown, but he gonna have to do a lot more homework on Jeff Horn. And he gonna work really hard with what's his name? The trainer guy, Freddie Roach. He gotta work real hard with Freddie Roach to make sure that happens. And I heard Freddie Roach and they did Jeff Horn's camp bad too. They were behaving dirty with him. So yeah. MBT Boxing, good point. You got me. I consider GGG elite, but I rate Jacobs the same level as Porter and Garcia. So yeah, you're right. No, Jacobs is elite too. Jacobs is elite boxer, man. He beat Peter Quillin, man. Beat Peter Quillin. Knocked his ass out too. Stopped him. He didn't knock him out. He stopped him, right? And you got to give him props for that. You know what I'm saying? And he's a world champion. You can't, he didn't just be a world champion. He defended his championship multiple times to show he was elite. You know what I'm saying? When Sergio Mora dropped his ass, he came back and beat Sergio Mora. And Sergio Mora complained, it's my foot. I got my foot twisted. He said, all right, cool. Let's get a rematch. Get a rematch. Whoop his ass. Stop him, right? So Jacobs is real good. People saying, oh, Jacobs is overrated. Oh, yeah? He's overrated? That's what my boy Luis Arias said. I'm not saying Luis Arias didn't have good defense, but he knew he was in survival mode for the rest of the fight, making excuses. You lost. I mean, it was his first 12-round fight too, but, people can stand on the outside and say, oh, Jacobs is overrated. Okay, get in the ring and fight him then. You know what I'm saying? You're going to realize all the things he can do in there, and Jacobs can do a lot of stuff. Went headhunting, though. I personally saw big slippage in Pacquiao in the Vargas fight. The third Bradley fight was his last good performance. Slippage. Yeah, well, he getting older. What do you expect? But he's smarter. Pacquiao fought Vargas, very smart, dropped his ass. And Vargas is not easy to fight. Vargas has, mentally, he's very strong. So you're not going to just stop Vargas. And Vargas, he had strategy. He saw the blueprint that Floyd had on him, and he was trying to implement that. But you got to have the skills to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you just learn in a camp. That takes some years to develop. I was just watching that Floyd jabbing on a punching bag. Very few guys jab off the pivot. Terrence Crawford does it with either hand, but he doesn't do it perfectly. Floyd jabs off the pivot. He got perfect execution, perfect balance. You know what I'm saying? He push off the back foot on the drop of a dime, still got that balance off the front foot, pivot off the front foot, catching it another angle, and he's punching you at an angle to his body. It's some crazy shit this brother do. Anyway, I had Horn winning it 115-113, but my score was not valid because I'm Australian. Actually, I had it much wider than that. I had Pacquiao winning, I think it was 2 or 3 rounds out of the whole fight. I thought Horn did a good job of smothering him and actually pushing him back and actually making Pacquiao uncomfortable because Pacquiao couldn't find preferred range, So I thought Horn downright won that fight. 9-3, 10-2. So I thought it was a straight up Horn fight. And it was sloppy and rough and rugged. Horn made it that way ugly so that he could win the fight. MBT Boxing. I think Jacobs was underrated, especially going into the GGG fight. Luis Arias has motives to say that about Jacobs. Well, he's trying to, you have to stay in a certain mindset. If you want to win a fight, you got to think like a winner, And Arias did very, very well for himself in the sense that he took a huge step up. He's going up against one of the top middleweights in the world, and then on top of that, he's stepping up. This is his first 12-rounder, so he did very, very well for himself, and it's a huge learning experience for him. So yeah, he took a L, but he learned a lot. He said he had a blister in the front of his foot, which I don't give a damn about. You're supposed to try and win under all circumstances. So I don't want to hear no excuses. You know what I'm saying? MBT Boxing. Floyd's video of him jabbing at 40 was a pleasure to watch. Yeah, but he can't maintain that. He looked crisp. He looked crisp right there. But he's a 40-year-old man. I see him running also on the treadmill and stuff, and that was cool. You know, I'm 42. I'm only 2 years older than him, so it's nice to see him doing his thing there. But he looks old. He looks old. He's drying up. You can see his body. He kind of reminds me of Michael Jordan later on in his career, how he started to dry up. But the muscles don't have the elasticity they used to have when you're younger, you know. But it's nice that he's staying in shape. I think he can train a lot of boxers and coach them and show them the way. And you just got to ignore, don't go live in Floyd's lifestyle. You live your own lifestyles, but take the nuggets from him in terms of training with boxing to your own regiment. You know what I'm saying? And just do the repetition, you know, and what things don't work for you that work for Floyd, leave those things alone, you know. But it's an inspiration to see a guy that old do, you know, just training and stuff. Is just an inspiration. I don't need to see him in the ring anymore, quite frankly. I hope he stays at 50-0, because I mean, he may jump back in the ring. We just never know with this guy. How did you score J-Rock versus Ishe Smith? I didn't score it yet. I watched pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I thought it was a close fight from what I was seeing, though, but I haven't seen the whole thing, so I can't really say. It was a closer fight than the judges had it, but it's all good. You know, Ishe Smith's one of those underrated boxers that people say is an ugly fighter, but the boy does some work and he has some good defense. So it's just one of those things where you're not Floyd Mayweather, so you're not a big ticket item. So people, it's politics. Let's just put it that way. Politics and this comes with the territory. This is what it is. I mean, yeah. I said this over and over again. I thought that Canelo looked like Floyd Mayweather versus GGG. And you just take Floyd Mayweather's name and you put that in there, or you put Sugar Ray Leonard's name in there, all of a sudden, oh man, that was a great boxing clinic by Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a great fight by Floyd Mayweather. You see, because, you know, people wasn't going for Canelo because of Oscar. Oscar's an asshole, and it's sad, but politics, man. It's just what it is. That's how boxing is. People wanted to see Canelo get beat because they thought he was getting favor, and it's like, nah, GGG won that. I had it 96-94 for J-Rock. He landed clean shots, but Smith had good combos. 2 scorecards were way off, though. Smith won at least 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know, that's part of boxing. You have to just kind of live with it. It's a part of boxing. And sometimes, you know, sometimes the judges do get it wrong. I guess it could be the angle they're sitting at. It could be that they're looking at the younger, fresher fighter and saying, he won. You know, another thing I would like them to do is interview, sometimes when they have controversial scorecards, interview the judges right after to tell us what they were actually seeing. And you shoot certain footage of certain rounds, and then the judge will tell you exactly what they're scoring. So at least we get an idea of what's going through the judge's head for certain rounds. And when we hear the judges, now we could judge for ourselves if that judge is being sincere or if they're fudging things, and don't let our emotions run wild. I think that's one of the good ways to do it. Or as, what's this referee's name? Cortez. Joe Cortez was saying, maybe put the judges on elevated seating so they can see down. They can see above the ring, or at least at the level that the fighters are fighting. Maybe that will help the situation. Kind of like in tennis, when you got a judge above instead of on ground level to see the whole thing, so you could see everything. I think that might help in the judging of fights, because I think where you're seated in a fight does influence what you actually see in a fight, because you're seeing it at a certain angle. You know, the best place to be is actually in the ring with the guys. So a referee might see the fight much better than a judge. The problem is it's harder for a referee to ref a fight and he's still judging the fight at the same time. You're going to get some bias there. But the best place, the best seats in the house is actually in the ring, watching these fighters in 3-dimensional space face each other. You get the best view, but you judges don't have that. So it is what it is. I don't believe in computerized scoring because I don't like CompuBox. I think CompuBox is a guide, but it can be very, very off with certain things. So I like to still keeping the 3 judges. People are talking about 5 judges, and I think in 5 judges, it still don't mean nothing. You can increase the numbers, and all 5 judges could be wrong. So, and where are you going to find the angles for them to see? I mean, that means you're going to have a couple of judges on one side of the ring, and that don't make no sense either. So I don't believe in 5 judges either. I think you should just have 3 judges, but the positioning should be where they can optimally see what the two boxers are doing. And if you're slightly above the two boxers, then you can see almost all the punches that are being thrown, no matter where the boxers are positioned in the ring, you know, because you're slightly above them. So I think Joe Cortez's idea is the best. Anyway, man, I got to go, guys. I see everybody's kind of taking off. MBT, shout out to you, my brother. Much love to you, man. It's nice to see you really love boxing, brother. You really love boxing. I hope everything's going well with you up in Australia. You know, much love to you, man. And Brandon Lewis, shout out to you. I didn't expect all these people to come, but that's nice. We have, who else we got here? 68 Dark Rendevorous. Shout out to you, my brother. Thanks for the support. You know, from Trinidad, we always love you. Much appreciation. And I know you're thought-provoking on your channel, and I hope you keep it up because I like your stuff, man. Who else was here? Somebody else was here. I had somebody else up in here, but they disappeared. Shout out to you all guys, all of you guys, man. And much love. You guys are true boxing fans, man. You really out there. We must start talking about some of them obscure fights, man. Some of those fights that don't get so much press and coverage and stuff. I'm gonna start hunting down those fights. And if you guys have some local fights in your area, you know, EJ's Boxing Live, he sometimes gives some boxing fights in his area, and that's really nice to go and judge and give your own assessment of. We're gonna start shouting out some of the people who don't get that shine. You know, we always talk about the big fights, but there's a whole bunch of other boxing fights out there. Keeps people off the streets, keeps people disciplined, less violence. You know, it's a man-to-man kind of thing. I love it, man. I love boxing. So shout out to you guys. Don't forget to go see Justice League if it's playing in your area, because that's another thing I do film. I love the DCEU. For those of you who don't know, I'm a comic book fan, somewhat, not really, kind of. You know, I'm not deep into comics like that. I'm into DC comics. I outgrew them, but then Zack Snyder brought me back on board. So you all go check out Justice League as well. But if you ain't like TV and you don't like Justice League and don't like theater and film, that's all good too. You stick with the boxing. Much love to you guys. Peace. I'm out.